Genesis 31. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father hath he got all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that he is not toward me as before. But the God of my father hath been with me, and he knew that with all my power I have served your father. And your father hath deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered him not to hurt me. If he said that, the speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, the ring-straked shall be thy high, then bear all the cattle ring-straked. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father, and give them to me. And it came to pass in the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes and saw in the dream, and behold, the reins which leaped upon the cattle were speckled and grizzled. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am I. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and ye see all the rains which leap upon the cattle are ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban did unto thee. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou wentest all unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of the kindred. And the Rachel and the Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of his strangers? For he has sold us, and he hath quite devoured all our money. For all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee to do. Then Jacob rose up and set his son and his wife upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Padan-aram, for to God to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. The Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the image that were her father's. And Jacob stole away Anwar oars to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So fled with all that he had, and he rose up and he passed over the river, and set his face toward the mount of Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. And he took his brethren with him, and they pursued after him 7 days' journey. And they overtook him in the mountain Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. The Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and the Laban with his brethren pitched in the mountain of Gilead. And the Laban said to Jacob, What hast thou done that thou hast stolen away anywhere to me, and carried away my daughter, and captives take with the sword? Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth and with songs and tabret and with harp, and hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is the power of my hand to do you harm. But the God of your fathers spake unto me yesterday night, saying, Take to heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And now, dog, do wouldest needs be gone, because thou sure longest after thy father's house. Yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid. For I said, Peradventure thou wouldest take by force the daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy God, let him not live. Before our brethren discerning, thou wouldst dine with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maid servants' tents, but he found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the image and put them in the camel's furniture and set up them. And Laban searched all the tents, but found them not. And she said to the father, Let it not displease my lord, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, but found not the image. And Jacob was wroth and showed with Laban. And Jacob answering said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast no longer pursued after me? Whereas that has sorted all my stuff, what hast thou found all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge between us both. These 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ears, thy she gods have not cast thy young, and the raiments of the flock have I not eaten. That which was torn off beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of each of my hand durst thou acquire it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 23 years in thy house. I served you 14 years for the two daughters, and 6 years for the cattle, and thou hast changed my wage 10 times. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God had seen mine affliction and the labor of my hands, and he looked thee yesterday night. And Laban answered and said to Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now therefore come thou, and let us make a covenant, and do, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stone. And they took stones and made an heap, and they did it there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jegar-sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. And Laban said, The heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead, and Mizpah, for he said, The Lord watch between me and thee, when we are absent from another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives beside my daughters, no means which eyes. God is witness between me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, and behold this pillar which I had cast between me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, and the God of their father, Jude between his eyes. And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and he called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban was up, and kissed his son and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned unto his place.